Here we go.
Hello, everyone. I'd just like to welcome you to our Heat Team call tonight. It's Tuesday, December 2nd, and I have the privilege of introducing Doug Farrar, who is an international marketing director with Juice Plus Company, and he's also the founder of Mana AI. And Mana AI is where he is building artificial intelligence with Juice Plus tools that can help network marketers work smarter without losing that human touch. He's married to a 50 clubber, PMD Sharon Farrar, and Doug has spent 25 years in education before going full time with his Juice Plus in 2015. And you're going to find out tonight that Doug is very passionate about helping partners reclaim their time, scale their impact, and build businesses grounded in authentic relationships. And now, supercharged by artificial intelligence that actually understands how we work in the Juice Plus business. So, with that said, Doug, why don't you take it away and
Well,
show us your
thank you.
magic that I got to experience being on a call with you a few weeks ago.
Doug,
Yeah,
really quick.
well,
Doug, really quickly. I forgot to mute everybody, so I'm going to do that right now.
okay.
Don't have any interruptions, but you'll have to unmute yourself. And I think we're ready to go. Carolyn, thank you.
All right. Thanks, ladies. Well, I put a couple of links into the chat and for you guys in the replay. Um, the first one is jpmana, MANNA.com, jpmana.com. That's the website they were just referring to. And I'll talk a little bit about that and some AI stuff in general. I also put a link into the chat to a Facebook group. It's called Mana Hub. And that's a group that I use it for customer support for my subscribers to the AI. But I also, it's more of like a general technology group that eventually over time there'll be more and more just general AI marketing, automation, like all these things you guys are like, what are you even talking about? Well, this stuff's really happening, guys. And so I've always been somebody who just loves coaching, mentoring, strategy, thinking. I've been always very technical. Um, and my background's in education. So I was actually a high school band director at one point, and I became a school administrator in the public schools. And then I was asked to start a college program, a music college based out of a church, very large church in South Florida, and that was called Ocean's Edge University. And I ran that for 10 years, and I just loved it. I love being innovative and adopting new things. And we did a lot of like distance learning type of things, which played right into my curriculum master's degree, and it was fun. And then a little side note, if you're in the church world, you probably have heard of a worship leader named Brandon Lake. He was one of my students at that worship college. So it's always nice when
That's
Brandon
so
comes.
cool.
Yeah, so it's always nice to be able to get tickets to his shows when he comes to town and we get to meet him and hang out with him and stuff. But hey Beth. um but I've always just loved leadership and learning and coaching, and I feel like AI just plays right into it and um really allows us to have like a personal coach, and do so many amazing things. I'm curious if you guys could put in the chat for me, like if you currently use AI of any sort. I mean, you could put ChatGPT or Claude, or if it's Mana, you can put that in there. Maybe use Gemini. I'm still a Gemini subscriber. Well, I get it free because I have a Google phone, but Gemini does make the fastest and smartest AI in the world right now. That's actually what powers Mana currently. A nice thing about Mana is I can change it. If a Chat GPT comes out with a better one, I can always tune it up and like change the Mana over to Chat GPT in the background. So I'm always tinkering behind the scenes. Um, but oh great, some Chat GPTs. And oh, we got a no way. I love it. I love it. And you know what? That's interesting. Um, I understand. I'm an early adopter, so I don't understand that much. I've always loved technology. Um, there are some unsure times ahead, probably in the next 2 to 5 to 10 years, but we'll see. I mean, we've always adapted, And when we invented the automobile, it probably put a lot of blacksmiths out of business, but then we had auto mechanics. So it's like everything kind of evolves and moves on. So I'm sure we'll figure it out. But so bottom line is this. So a lot of people are using AI, or the most typical path and common path is for people to just download the free version of ChatGPT. And it's amazing what it can do. I mean, if you just put something in and tell it to make a poem out of whatever about roses and automobiles and chocolate, and it will do it. It's incredible the stuff it can do. And a lot of us use it for a lot of different things. I mean, I've used it for, my goodness, I use it as a legal advisor this week in an ADA, Americans with Disability Act claim on a family member against an employer. And boom, we were sitting down in a meeting yesterday, and they were reoffering the job with back pay and stuff, and that was all from using AI to figure it out. So it is really smart and it's really helpful. But there's a point where when we're just using it for whatever, in my journey anyway, I got really into AI about 2 years ago, and I started using it. I immediately saw that this is going to be something big, like the Industrial Revolution, like the automobile, the internet. I mean, what did we do before cell phones? And then what did we do before smartphones, where we could have our computer on our phone? And it's just incredible, the stuff that happens, and it changes everything. But I saw that immediately, so I started using things, and then ChatGPT came out. I think it was November 23, and started using that. It was pretty dumb at first, but it gets better and better and better and better. And so I started using the paid version, which I recommend that everybody get a paid version. Whether you sign up for JP Mana, which is the one that I'll show you guys tonight, or if you sign up for ChatGPT or Gemini from Google. I love Gemini from Google. I still use it for certain things, mostly because it integrates really well with my Gmails and things like that. Claude is a great one for writers, and they all cost about $20 a month. And I think for what you get, because you really get like a personal assistant, it's worth it. My mind is just baffled when people are like, "Oh, I only use the free version." Well, you're getting a dumber version, a slower version, and the inability to customize it to make it your own. So that's what I did. I bought the version of ChatGPT years ago, and I started to learn how to customize. And hey, there's I started customizing it, and then I started making what they call custom GPTs. And you can do that on ChatGPT, kind of like similar to what I do on Mana almost, if you have the paid version. And so I started customizing things, but then I kind of hit a wall, and I was like, I'm pretty good at this computer stuff. So I'm going to move to another platform, which I did. It's called Pickaxe. And on Pickaxe, I can make completely custom AIs. I can choose what's called the large language model. It's like the brain, so basically ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. There's one from France called Mistral that we use in one of them. So the Mana suite of tools is really a bunch of different AIs mixed together. So I figured out that I could customize my AI over there, but the real advantage I had over there was they have this, what they call the knowledge base. So I'm able to upload and train the AI specifically on documents about our products, about our culture, teaching from like authors. There's books we all read. There's YouTube, there's audios like Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business. That's trained right into Mana. So when you're asking questions, ChatGPT is going out on the internet. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked up like Juice Plus on the internet, or maybe you're like a Christian person. Do you really want like to just look up like what everybody thinks about Jesus and the church? No, you want to curate, because there's some people out there that are haters, you know what I mean? So the same thing, when you're using a generic AI, you're kind of getting the answers from wherever. So in this, I was able to kind of curate the content and the training. I'm able to tune the models. I'm able to train it how I want it to speak. Um, I'm able to, I don't know if you've ever noticed this in Mana compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT will give you the answer. Just boom, there it is. But Mana, you always get a little bit of coaching. And I put that in there specifically because I just think it's really important that I don't just want the answer. I want to get better. I want to think about how I'm speaking to people. Why am I going to write an email like this? Why am I going to answer an objection this way? So that's all built into it. So I was able to build up like a custom chat bot. Then I said, well, it'd be nice if we had like a whole team of like assistants. So then we get our main one, it's called Mana, and then we have our social media person and all this different stuff. And it just really like AI in general gives you like good ideas. Mana goes further and it's almost like a virtual upline and it thinks like our community, speaks our language and all that. So what I want to challenge you guys tonight, and I'll show you guys some stuff along the way, but I want to make sure that you don't just think of AI as like and something that's going to answer your questions or something like that. I mean, or just give you the answer or like write something for you or something like that. I want you to think of it. I'm trying to share my screen. Where is it? There it is. I want you to think of it more like a helper, like a personal assistant or a virtual upline or just something along those lines that kind of like helps you along so that you can have more time maybe. I mean, what if you could figure things out quicker? What if you had to design a flyer for tonight's Zoom and you just couldn't think of what to say and da da da, and it's like and you just get some ideas and it helps you brainstorm. So it's really good for not just making content. And I think a lot of us can see some of the fake content out there. Um, that's not really that helpful. But when you get stuck on what to say, what do I do next? AI might give you options, in just seconds instead of staring at a blank screen or like feeling paralyzed. Which, that kind of stuff gives you more time for what really matters in our business, which is people. Like we need real conversations and my goal with AI is to help you guys get to those conversations quicker and to have better conversations. I think coaching is a big deal. I'm a big proponent of personal development. And I think as leaders and as business people, we should be learning all the time and getting better. Like Jim Rohn says, don't wish you were better. Wait, don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. So I say, let's all go get better. So now we have this thing that can coach us on demand, like with some really, really deep stuff. For instance, by the way, if you're an NMD or a QNMD and you're a Mana subscriber, I sent you an email today to let me know if you want to be. Yes, Janet, I did develop this. If you let me know you want this, there's this new thing down here called J Plus 2026 and beyond. And this thing, if you like personal development and like thinking like what is the future of our how we do our business, even this thing, look at the kind of answer. It's like it writes a book. Oh, that's not the right one. And this is not even the right one either. I'm sorry. This is the one. It's almost like a journal article. And this goes on and it gives you all these links. So again, this is something you would never see on a generic AI. They just don't write details like this and give you links and all that. And this is all written from, this one is trained specifically on the network marketing industry, sales, social media, like what's working now that didn't work 5-10 years ago, and where's it going next based on evidence. I've been doing all kinds of research and loading it into this thing. So it's pretty interesting. So let's get into it. This is what we call Mana, JP Mana. And it's really, like I said, it's like a suite of tools. And everything I'm going to tell you now can be applied to ChatGPT or whatever. Okay. But in Mano, the way I approach it is that I want it to be really personalized. Not only did I train it on all Juice Plus stuff, for instance, if we want to like, oh, where is it? Where is she? Promo Pro. Like what's going on with the current active promotions. Oh, I didn't take Cyber Monday off yet, so that's going to be on there. But this gives you all the details. And so you don't have to, I don't know about you, but it always seems like it's difficult to jump over and figure out where things are on boards. So it's like, what if and so like things like the destination to Punta Cana, I can get all the details about that, how to qualify for it, what it's all included in it. All the details are just there. Um, so it's kind of handy when stuff like that happens. But the way I have this set up is when you first start, not only is this tuned to Juice Plus, but it's also I make it so that it's going to tune itself to you. Okay. And I think that's really, really important. So what this thing does is like your startup thing. And by the way, if you're a Mana user and you're like, oh, I didn't know about the startup thing, make sure you do this. This is super important. Okay. So what this is going to do is ask you questions. Here's my example. Where are you? I use this for business too. And then I do these workshops and it kind of it thinks like I'm a soccer mom and stuff sometimes. So you take about 15 or 20 minutes and it just asks you questions, your mission and your why. And then you see this long response. I just hit a key on my keyboard and I just speak it in. And I just talk about my why, why did I start my Juice Plus business? Your ideal audience, who do you want to serve? Who resonates for you? Who are your typical customers? How do you communicate? What is your areas of expertise and personal interests? You know what I mean? Things that you're into. What inspires you in life? Customer engagement, like if somebody asks you, why do you love Juice Plus? And then boom, you just speak it in there. Then you give examples of social invitations. Then and you can do even more. I mean, you can, my goodness, this is what you end up with at the end. And mine, I just put mine into Google Docs. Where is it? Bio. Oh, where did I put it? It's called Brand Discovery and Style Guide. There we are. Okay, so this is what the AI ends up doing based on all the things that it's heard about me. It tells me what's unique about me, what I'm into, my core content pillars. Those are the things I should post about. How I communicate on social, my mindset, next steps of what I should do in my business, some personal development ideas. And then here's like my style guide. It creates this too. And then I went ahead and added even more like content. I just upload like some things of me writing. And then what you do is you load that back into Mana, and now it knows that stuff about me. So now when I go into work and I sit down, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but you sit down. I mean, I've been doing this business like 20, 25 years, and I'll sit down on a power hour and it's like, what do I do? It's like, I don't know what to do. Like, who do I reach out to? It seems so ridiculous. I don't know. Am I the only one? Give me some heads. Okay, good. I see a few people. If you ain't shaking your head, you're lying a little bit. But I'm an organized guy too. I got my to-do lists and all that stuff. But you sit down and it's like, what do I say to this person? What do I do? So it's really simple. Mana is like your virtual upline. And what can it do? Well, by the way, I put this prompt in here. Oh, I want to go back and show my because I know I see a lot of faces on here that are subscribers. When you go to the main Mana bot right here and you have a new chat up, have you guys ever noticed I have these pre-filled prompts that you can select? The first one says, give me a DMO plan for a work session. And the second one is, tell me what's unique about your capabilities and show me how I can use you across my business and give me example prompts for each area so I know what to ask. So this will give you guys some good ideas, even if you're on ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. These are some pretty good prompts because the AI is saying, "Hey, ask me this, and I'll give you some good stuff." But let's kind of go through this, and let's expand our minds a little bit about what you can even use AI for in your business. Because I know as you saw that scroll by, you're thinking, "Well, I didn't know I could do all that." Yeah. Okay, let's think about it. Okay. This so by the way, if you put that prompt into each one of these assistants, because as we open up these folders here, we have different things. We have Mana, DMO Pro, Promo Pro, Content Creator, Event Pro. Don't get stressed out or anything. They're all just different people. They're personas. Okay. And when you first open them up, they tell you what they do. And if you click this button, it'll literally type out what it does. So this one is compliance first mindset. It has modular coaching. This is like your upline coach. And blah 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 blah. Okay, so how do you use this guy? Onboarding and partner launch. I just signed up a new partner. Give me a 30-day onboarding roadmap with weekly milestones. Okay, now again, that's a good thing to put in Chat GPT. I'm even tempted to do it. Let's do it just for funsies, huh?
Hey Doug, how do you feel about an interruption with a question, or would you rather wait till the very end?
Oh, I love questions.
Okay. Because the first time I got in here, I knew nothing. I saw the word content and events. I had to do a presentation for a chiropractor's office in 3 days. I haven't done a presentation in a very long time because of COVID and all the other things. And it used to be that I just knew it off the top of my head. I didn't have to worry about it, think about it. It just happened. And I said, I have 35 minutes. This is what I want to cover. And it said 3 minutes for this, 4 minutes for this. It would be great if you remembered to thank Mackenzie for even inviting you to do this because it knew the name of my chiropractor because I told it. In 5 minutes, I had a beautiful agenda completely done for me of what I wanted to present. And
Yeah.
the meeting was fabulous. And so, I mean, I don't know about all the other things, but I did poke around and found the one about events, and it created the perfect agenda for me.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? If I just go back, let me just start a new chat here in Mana. Because Mana is like your main one you should be dealing with. This would be like if you just had Chat GPT, Mana's it. Not that it uses that, it uses actually right now it's using Gemini. But if I like talking my prompts in, so let me think of something. Okay, I'm doing an event on Saturday at the house. It's a wine and wellness event that'll have some healthy food, a little wine tasting, and then I'll do a presentation about Juice Plus from one of the standard PowerPoints that I've used in the past, period. But I haven't done a presentation in a really long time. So I'm a little nervous about it. Can you give me a general outline of how this event might run just to make it a little easier for me to prep? Okay, so if I want to show you guys how, so if I put that in here, now Mana is like now this is what we call a reasoning model in AI. So it thinks, and that was actually pretty quick for Mana. Sometimes he's a little slow. But just like you said, it just kind of popped it out, Nikki. And wine and wellness event, 60 to 90 minutes, guests arrive, blah, blah, blah. Things kick off casually. Thanks for coming. I wanted to share something I've been loving. Keep it personal, not salesy. What made you try Juice Plus? How was it a fit for your life? Connected to the vibe of the night. I realized I wasn't fueling my body well. So I mean, this is the kind of stuff. Now, you guys that are leaders, I do notice, leaders, we've been through this. This ain't our first rodeo. But how about those partners that don't live in the same town as you, and we're supposed to have a buddy in the business, but half the time the buddy doesn't know what they're doing either, right? So this is just like a comforting thing. It's kind of like that ADA meeting I went into at the county office the other day. I was reading through my AI prepared notes right before I went into the meeting because I didn't know if they were going to be, confrontational or fun. So I was prepared. The same thing here. You can just read through this. Okay. Use your standard PowerPoint. No need to invent. And then it gives you a little checklist, and then it gives you a mindset anchor. Now this was broken for a while. Let's see. I'm a little nervous. Connect to Coach Lori for some advice. I don't know if you guys know you can do this, but now when you're in this conversation, it'll remember what you talked about. And now it should say connecting to Coach Lori, although my developers had a problem making this work. It's a little creepy when they're like talking to each other and stuff. But Coach Lori, yeah, see, it's not working right now. That stinks. So, but another thing you can do now, you're prepared for this event. Let's say you're nervous. If you go down to content and events, I'm sorry, down to mindset and support, you go to Coach Lori. Now, she is very much different. I have an event on Saturday in my home. It's a wine and wellness, and I have to do a presentation, which I've done before, but I'm really nervous because it's been several years since I've actually done the PowerPoint and presented in front of people like this, period. Now, Coach Lori, you'll see a completely different tone because she's trained to be a lot more empathetic. Now, I think if you guys are new to Mana, a lot of times I can see how many times everybody's using like, which one. And Coach Lori's further down on the list. But I'll tell you what, imagine if like you could like, if like you went away to camp and Catherine Lee was your roommate. That's Coach Lori. Okay. You get to talk to her. It's like when I go to conference and I get to stand in the back of the room with Scott Getz, I just soak it up. I just soak it up. It's just wisdom. So she does a lot of like mindset. She's trained more on the mindset side of things. I'm going to give you guys one more little example before I open up to any questions and finish up. So let's say I do this same exact thing. I'm doing this event on Saturday. Just so you know, there's another one here called DMO Pro. Now, remember what I said, they tell you what they are. So this is more focused on DMO, your AI coach for building a sustainable business, master a complete daily method of operation, blah, blah, blah. This agent is inspired by the proven DMO planning system from Stacy Turner, the DMOplanner.com. She's really good. She's an NMD under us. She coaches every Monday for like an hour and has like 130 YouTube videos. I took the transcripts of all those videos and just like got it into like a knowledge base along with a lot of other things. Of course, all of boards and all that is in here. But this is just going to give you another option, maybe another way to think of things. I use DMO Pro for like when I want to work, and it gives you ideas for what to do, even for answering objections and things like that. It's really, really, really good. So other ways we can use AI. There never seems to be enough time in these things. Holy cow. But yeah, so I mean, this is giving you example scripts and just giving you more and more things to think of. But think of all those times where you wish you could just have, like the president has the red phone. I don't know who's on that red phone, but bam, there's just the most important people in the world. Imagine you just had your upline, boom, right there. Somebody says, I don't know about this. Isn't this one of those pyramid schemes? You start sweating. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm going to research that a little bit. I'll get back to you. Boom. I mean, you ask questions like this, and it's going to educate you to give you more confidence. And there's nothing like confidence. Holy cow, this was a long answer. My wife told me, you got to make it short in the answers, man. You're killing me. And honestly, I am a long answer. I love a long answer. Like, I want the long answer.
But Doug, couldn't you say after you did all that, couldn't you say, can you reduce what you just did to just half of what you printed out to me and give me just some bullet points? We can
Yeah,
only do that.
Even one better than that, you can say something like this. That's a great explanation. Thank you. Could you shorten that to about half the length? And also remember in your memory that I want all of your responses to be no more than one paragraph, and then ask if I want to get deeper on the subject from now on. So now this will remember that because I have memory turned on to remember what your preferences are for that. So I'm wondering if anybody has any questions, whether it's about this or about general AI, not general AI as in like what is general or forget it. That was kind of a joke, but not really. That's another tech thing. But if you have a question, let me know. Beth, go ahead.
Hey Doug, it's so
Hi.
good to see you. Okay, this is really amazing, and I'm sorry I haven't sat down before now to really dig into this, but I do have one general question. I got a little confused on you. Did you say that Gemini is like the source for this? Like does it go through Gemini or something?
Um,
Or is
so
is it its own?
I can choose. No, there's only so many what are called foundational models in the world. One's by OpenAI, another one's by Gemini, one's by Meta, one's by Anthropic, and then you have the Chinese stuff.
Okay.
So all of those, every time there's a new Chat GPT, it costs them about $80 million to train these models. So it's not like nobody's just training their own model; they're always building on top of that model. So what's happening behind the scenes is I control what's in its brain. it
Mm,
it has training from all of world history, and I can choose whether I'm using the model from ChatGPT or from Gemini or from Claude. So
got
yes, so what it does is in the same thing with ChatGPT, you click on the interface and then it sends what you write plus their what's called a system prompt up to ChatGPT and then back to the app. Mine does the same exact thing, except I get to write the system prompt and have the knowledge documents.
I love that. I guess the reason I was asking that, I do have a day job, unfortunately, and I use Chat GPT. So I'm curious, would I be able to put in other things into this system and use it like a regular?
Yeah. For
Okay.
subscribers, I have down here, if you go down the left side, there's a folder called AI clones.
Oh,
So mine costs $20 a month. If you subscribe to Mistral, that's 20 a month. If you subscribe to Gemini, it's 20 a month. Claude is 20 a month, and ChatGPT 5. So you're really getting like all this stuff too.
mhm.
So these are the full versions. Actually, it's not even using Gemini 2.5. It's now on Gemini 3. And then this is DeepSeek. I'm going to take this off. This is the Chinese one. It answers really great, but it has been confirmed that the Chinese government collects data from it. So don't use that. I keep forgetting to take that off.
So you can use any of these links here,
Yeah.
and oh, got it. That's so
So if
cool.
I go to
Okay.
Gemini, now the way I have this set up is it's using the Gemini brain, and I specifically tell it not to reference all of your Juice Plus information. Because
Mm,
if you go into the main mana thing and ask it about, your front lawn, it's gonna, teach you about the phytonutrients of the grass or something. Because it's just hyper focused on Juice Plus. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, so my question is, I knew about these others being here, and that's what prompted me to do this because it would be $20 for each one. When I use ChatGPT through here, because I've already been using it for free and it does know a lot about me. When I go on to it through here, does it recognize me through my own ChatGPT that I signed up for? Or is this like I need to start over and just use it here? How do those two interface? Does that make
Okay, so this is my ChatGPT account,
Mhm.
which I signed up for 1 month. Okay, so these are some of my things. So let's say if I wanted to, for instance, if I had okay, this is the ADA advice thing that I was telling you guys about. So if I needed this chat, I would manually copy it and then go over to Mana and put it in there.
Okay, so they are separate.
And
That's
then yeah, they're separate. But even better, what you should probably do if you've used ChatGPT a lot, watch if I do this and I say like create a summary of everything you know about me and also include a writing style guide. And I'm not going to put that in right now, but it would give you a general overview, and that might be something you want to put into your other one, even upload it as a document, because then it'll save it. They only remember so much for so long. It's like about 80,000 words or characters, not even words.
And I know we don't have time tonight, and I know you showed it, and I know we don't have time tonight, but I didn't know even on ChatGPT how to create those documents. So I'm excited to do this, but I will be doing it through what I imagine doing is taking the important things that I've already done in ChatGPT, copy them and bring them over to here and then just use it from here.
Yeah, and always remember that it's so easy to create some of the stuff we create with this. They can always just do a fresh version too, unless it's something like you really curate the conversation just perfectly. You got to have it. Copy it and probably paste it in. Say create a summary of this conversation. Then it's in there.
And then one other thing you said, I have memory turned on. I assumed that memory is always on. Do you have to do something to turn memory on?
In mine?
Well, I don't know. Earlier you said, well, I have memory turned on.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, if you go to your little guy up here and go to your account settings, you can see your memories right here.
Okay.
And if you want to edit your memories, you can.
Oh, that'd be good in real life.
Yeah. And you can tell it that you're the president of the United States, and it'll think you are. One more question. Tyra, go ahead.
Well, you mute you. Okay. You got it? Okay. I was just actually mine sort of piggybacks on with Nikki. So all of my chats that I have over on ChatGPT, you're saying if I really like them, I have to copy them and bring them over here. I'm just clarification. And I don't know how
I
you
mean, if it's a long chat like this, I've been working on ideas over here. I do a lot of comparison A/B, to make sure I'm beating ChatGPT on stuff. So I might say like summarize this conversation and then just let it do a summary and then copy that over. But remember, like, again, these only remember so much. So as you keep chatting, and also another interesting thing is, let's say I work on this ADA stuff in this chat. If I start a brand new chat, it may or may not remember anything about that other conversation in a new chat. So it's advantageous sometimes to keep the same topic going in one chat.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
Doug, Beth asked, I'm assuming that Mana will start learning about me. So I'm assuming that once you start using Mana, does it learn about you, or is it only learned what it learned from you and all the stuff you put in, Doug?
It learns about me from how I interact with it, but I also have this.
Learn about me.
About Nikki?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's your answer.
Well, the first thing you're going to do, Beth and Nikki, is you're going to do this Mana start point.
Yeah.
And you're going to take 10 to 20 minutes and just answer a bunch of questions. And then you're going to upload that back in, and it'll remember that forever. But then along the way, I also have it set up so that it's going to remember certain things about you. Like I want it to know things that you struggle with in your business, for example. And it might even say down here, like challenges, goals or objectives, primary interests, past interactions, and key contextual notes. See how, look, we just talked about that wine and wellness event. It just remembered that. Oh, look, he also requested a shortened version of the outline with communication preferences, 1 paragraph responses and prompts to ask if he wants more detail. So, I've curated, I have 10 things it can remember like that long-term, like on the fly. And so I kind of study. I mean, obviously I'm using this more than you guys are even. So I'm making it so that it's the best it can be for me and my family, you know what I mean? And then you're getting the benefit of that because it's always getting better. For instance, after tomorrow, when you have one of those nice long conversations and it's like, oh my gosh, this was so good, you're going to be able to say, email me a summary of this. It'll say, oh, Nikki, what's your email? Oh, it's nikkicotton@aol.com. Boom. And it'll summarize it and send you the email. That's kind of nice. If you like that, that's nice,
Great.
So Yeah, we can do a lot of things, and there's a lot more stuff coming.
Well, Doug, thank you. This is mind blowing to a lot of people. You are offering s- there's a cost to be part of your program, and you're making it very cost effective, at least to get started for the first month. You want to
Yes.
share everyone on how they can give it a
Yes.
try?
So if you, oops, that didn't work. If you go to jpmana.com, it does cost, and you guys got to realize I have to pay when I connect to all those other services. There's a lot of cost in this for me. Um, but for the first month, if you use the checkout code AI50, that'll give you 50% off. And
It's
so it'll be
capital A,
$10.
capital I, capital A, capital I, 50, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would probably work with a lowercase too, but yeah, I know that looks like A150. I just realized that.
Yeah, I just wanted to
I'm
say,
gonna type it like this from now on.
yeah.
AI 50. But that way you can get started. And guess what? I'm going to be having pretty soon for you leaders and for me too is a way for like let's say you have a brand new person on the team. They're going to have like you pay $5 for a month or $10 for 2 months. And it's like a startup thing that takes them through like what's on boards and it kind of checks in with them and it reminds them of things and they can talk to it about objections and all that kind of stuff.
Was there
Okay,
anything?
I was just typing in the notes, letting
No.
everybody know basically what you're saying is it's $10 for the first month if we use the AI 50 code, because that's normally $20 a month, but we can get it 50% off and start playing with this and get to know it to see that it's
Yeah.
something we want to
and
continue.
and in addition to that, one as a member, you guys know if you're in that group or if you just hit me up on Voxer. I respond very quickly. If you want to get on a one-on-one call to just learn how to use stuff better, that's fine. Also, most Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, I do like a general AI hangout, and people come in and they're like, "Oh, what do I do when this happened in my business? Oh, I would do this and this and this." And then one day we end up talking about Project Broadcast. It's like, so we were just having a good time with it. Yeah, that Facebook group is called Mana Hub, Nancy. I really recommend you guys get in there. You get a taste for things.
Oh.
But yeah,
And
just let me reach out if you want any more info or
and
just sign up.
hey, Doug, I was just going to say too, and when you do sign up, you also send us links and email with videos, little mini trainings also that really help you get started as well.
Yes. Content creating example. Well,
I
I
have
think we're
not,
out of time, Janet. We're going to hold off. Go in the group and say,
Saturday.
"Hey, show me how this thing makes content." Do it in the Facebook group. I'll just shoot a video into there.
and I haven't seen the emails. I guess I need to check them, Carolyn, to see
Okay.
send emails. I've signed up a month, whatever it was, 3 weeks ago, and I don't remember getting any email.
Yeah, they might be going into your spam folder. Just
Okay,
check
go
for
check.
Mana in your spam.
Okay.
And like I said, I just sent out that one today that offers for NMD and up to get into like this access to this really weird one that I've created that's almost like research papers about the future of business and stuff. I've been
I didn't
reading.
get it. I didn't get it, Doug.
All right. Well, I'll double. Well, I also have another one coming out that'll ask you to tell me if you're a leader, a builder, or a new person in Juice Plus. Because some people that are at leadership level, I didn't know they were, or I didn't have them tagged in my mail system. So
Okay. All right.
just
I know we got to close this up. Carolyn, is there anything you want to say? Well, I'll say what I'm going to say, then I'll have
you're
you.
welcome to have me back if you want more.
That's
Yes.
I just wanted to remind everybody that next Tuesday, December 9th, same time, same place, we're going to have our Transform Tuesday call, which is all about mindset and great Juice Plus stories. And our guest speaker is Cynthia Gompers, founders member, 100 Plus Club, PMD Plus, been in the business for longer than I have, and she's amazing. So you might want to check that out next Tuesday night. I'm turning it back to you, Carolyn.
All right, thank you. And you will record that too, right, Nikki?
All our calls are always recorded.
Perfect. Doug, thank you. Thank you for bringing us over to the other side. I know a lot of
Go into the light.
yes. And I'm doing that too. So I just appreciate, I'm so grateful that myself and Tyra and Jennifer Straub, we had a chance to meet with you and said, we really got to get you on our call and expose this to the rest of the group because this is the future. And we appreciate it. Thank you for having that Facebook page. Thank you for having the Saturday Hangouts. That's really great just to know that you're giving freely of your time for people who might be struggling or want to know, just how does this work best for me? So
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on. And thank you so much for saying yes to this call for us.
Oh, you got it. You guys have a great night.
Good night,
Thanks.
everybody. Everybody,
Night.
can
Bye.
unmute yourself and shout out a
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Doug.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.